Heat Seekers, what's up? It's Brad from RotoHeat.com and RookieDraftGuide.com, and we're back with another installment of Buying the Dip. And always, if you're liking what RotoHeat's doing here on YouTube, smash that like button. If you enjoy what we're doing, hit that notification bell. Stay up to date every time we go live with all the amazing guests we've been having going live with. You know, Fish, Steffi, Paul Charchi, and all these great guests, as well as anytime we drop any of these videos. We got a few more in the Buying the Dip series. We've got redraft content coming. It's all for you. Show some love. Coming in at numero uno on our list of top 5 that you need to be on the lookout for and trying to buy, Courtland Sutton of the Denver Broncos. This guy really shouldn't even be low in value. All he does is produce. I know in 2020 you didn't get anything out of him because of the injury early on, but the 3 catches he did have went for 66 yards. 22 yards per reception with Drew Lock, whom I don't know about y'all, but I am a fan of. This guy's a producer. 2019, he went for 15.4 yards of reception, 1,112 yards, 6 touchdowns. His rookie season 2018, 16.8 yards per catch, had 42 catches, 704.4. Like, the guy produces. And it's not like he's gotten any worse at quarterback. Drew Lock is still there. He's competing. He's got a challenger in Teddy Bridgewater. Either way, this guy is a guy that you need to have on your team. He's still super young. He's only 25. Like, this is the perfect time to go out and buy him. I would say this is probably the lowest his value's been since rookie drafts, quite honestly. If you can get him, you need to do it. Number 2 on the list, Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints. Listen, I don't know what's going on with people. Michael Thomas should never be a guy that you have to buy low. I mean, he's just a stud. I know he's been plagued by injuries here as of recently, and if you look at at ADPs in these startup drafts, he's going like 4th round. I mean, it's just, I don't care who his quarterback is. He produces. Jameis, Taysom, Drew Brees, like whoever's been throwing him the ball, he will produce. When you look at his track record, outside of last year, he never had below 1,100 receiving yards. And 1,100 was his rookie season, 1,137. Guy's not the biggest play threat. He really normally is like 11 and 12 yards per reception type guy, but all this guy does is produce. And he's never been targeted below, 100 targets other than his injury-plagued 2020 season. I mean, the guy's, normally in the 120 to 180 range. I mean, the guy just gets targeted. And New Orleans still has a high-powered offense, even though their quarterback retired. They've still got talent, and his yards per reception could even go up if a guy like Jameis is their starter come week 1. So you got to go buy Michael Thomas. You got to do it. You got to do it now. And number 3 on the list, Keenan Allen, Los Angeles Chargers. Why is it every season Keenan Allen is almost always under the radar? I don't want to say undervalued, but just not in the conversation for the best in the game. Like for the longest time, people had the OBJs and the Landrys and some of these guys, and Keenan Allen was doing just as well as the top guys, and even now he's still doing as well as the top guys. People think just because he's just a pass catcher that maybe he's not the big play type guy that people are looking for. He produces. He is a weekly starter 99% of the time. Now, obviously, he's had injury issues from time to time. Missed games in almost every season. He's been in 16 games 3 years of his career since 2013. I know people. I know it's tough. You got to go out and get him. This dude is consistent. He catches everything that's thrown his way, even with rookie quarterbacks, even with a Phillip Rivers at the end of his career. Like he just produced. You got to go get Keenan Allen. Got to get him. Do it. All right, number 4 on the list. You 4 Horsemen fans, throw up the 4s. Jeudy, Denver Broncos. This may be a little early to say buy low on a guy like this because he was a rookie last year and hyped as the top wide receiver in the draft class. But after a suspect 2020 year where we saw some consistency drops, whatever you want to call it, he's a guy that the team thinks is somebody you need to jump all over. Jeudy is one of those guys that it took a little time for him. You know, he wasn't on the same page with his quarterback necessarily. Maybe he was having some consistency drops issues. Maybe the game, was a challenge getting to the next level. I don't know. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know that this is a guy that can do it. He's a dog. Look at him. If you follow him on social media, he's been working his tail off, getting ready, working and honing the craft. Like, he's a guy that he's probably as cheap now as he's been ever in his career. I would go after him. I would target him hot and heavy because even if Sutton gets hurt, he can still be the top guy there. If Sutton is healthy, then that just makes this offense even more dynamic with what they did in the offseason, getting Javonte Williams and making some of these other changes to go with some of these other skill position players they have. Jeudy's a guy that if you want to buy him, now is the time. Do it. And number 5 on the list, Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers. Okay, so we had some injury issues, and you're seeing that trend is filling out this top and this 5 for us. Injuries plagued 2020. People are down on them. Rookies came in and looked good. That fits the case here with Deebo. Brandon Ayuk came in, looked better than some expected coming out as a rookie. So now people are a little bit more down on Deebo. Deebo is a guy that you just don't know until all of a sudden he makes this big explosive play. We saw it in his rookie season. Even with Jimmy G throwing the ball, he looked very good. Over 14 yards a catch, 57 receptions, 802 yards, 3 touchdowns. Maybe not the touchdown production you were looking for because this team wants to ground and pound. Some people have been a little bit more concerned about these guys. I bought Deebo in a couple spots this offseason, and I am more than happy to do it again. Deebo is a guy that is still super young at just 25. He's got the talent. He's got the ability to make big plays with the ball in his hands. I mean, he can do it all. He's a guy that you want to have on your team, even if you're getting him as your, kind of wide receiver 2, 3 with potential for upside. He's a starter on a week-to-week basis. And right now, I've been seeing him go for the cheapest I've seen, in my opinion, the cheapest I've seen in all my years of doing fantasy. In all my years of trying to trade for Deebo, right now has been the cheapest I've been able to get him, and you can as well.